Alright, welcome all. This is the Tomb Raider 2013 or A Survivor is Born speedrun walkthrough. I am Brassmaster. I am the current console record holder at a time of 1 hour 56 minutes and 27 seconds. And I'm going to walk through this game. This walkthrough is going to be for those who just want to learn the game. And so I'm going to talk through a few different strategies and maybe some safer ways to go through areas, at least for starting out. After a little while, you'll want to watch some of the record videos. I have I'm not too sure what my record time that I have put on YouTube is, but hopefully pretty soon I'll get a better updated one. Anyway, because there were some mistakes that I definitely want to get rid of in my current record. Okay, so first thing that you want to do before you do anything is load up any save file. It doesn't matter, or if you don't have a save file there, just start the game and until you get to the first checkpoint. And the reason we want to do this is going to load the game somehow. So all you need to do is just do that before your run. And all runners have agreed to do this because the only way to counter its effects of doing that is to actually close out the game and reload it. So instead of just exiting to the main menu and hitting new game, you'd have to go, like for Xbox, back to the dashboard, that kind of thing. So it's kind of annoying. But its effects is it lets you skip the first cutscene like a second or maybe 2 seconds sooner. So if you're going for a run to submit to SDA, it's going to be a little bit, it wouldn't really affect anything because SDA's timing will either start when you are able to skip the cutscene or when you first move Lara, which is not for another minute. So now we're going to start a new game. It doesn't matter what time slot you want. For RTA timing, all the runners start on this screen right here for the battle difficulty, and we all do normal. Easy actually has the potential of being slower than normal because of the auto aim. It auto aims to center mass on enemies, and throughout this game you want to shoot for headshots. So it's better to have normal. We haven't really done much testing on hard mode. There's a few spots that I know will be slower, but no one runs hard right now, so run normal. So let's go ahead and get started. I don't need to be rambling on the opening screen. Anyway, so during cutscenes, you want to mash the skip button. So starting out, we've got 2. And ideally on the second one, you want to be able to skip the cutscene before her head goes above water. Sometimes there's just nothing you can do about it. So it is kind of weird in RNG loading, I guess. Not too sure why that is. Alright, so now we're starting to run. So during this cutscene right here, hold your stick to the right and wait for her to start moving. And then from here, just try to time your swings just right, and you can do this in 5. It is possible to do this in 4, but it requires a little bit of a higher tech, and only one runner that doesn't exactly run the game uses it. So, and then for here, hold to the left. Wait for that, and then right, and then back and forth. On the last swing, it doesn't look like that would ignite the rope, but it does, and it's pretty consistent. So right after this, you get a checkpoint. You want to reload this checkpoint and mash your A button and hold forward. And hopefully you get a jump. Unfortunately, I didn't. I don't know if reloading the checkpoint will get it, so I could show you it. It's a pretty tight window to get this jump. Okay, I failed it twice. I'm not too sure what it... how to really get it. But you end up jumping, it screws up the camera a little bit, but it skips her falling down forward. It saves like a second, maybe two. So go forward and grab this torch. Grabbing that torch allows you to scramble, which is definitely faster than just walking. I was just a hair early on that, so you can time your scramble to go through the that fire for when the last little bits fall and hit the ground. Right from getting your torch on fire, you can jump immediately onto the to grab the platform. Then from here, walk up against this, and as long as your head is below standing up all the way, you won't die from that or get blown back. Now I do understand some of this stuff is going to be somewhat straightforward, but yeah, just in case, might as well. Especially with nothing much else to talk about. The first 10 minutes of this run is kind of boring to really explain. You can kind of just get the idea from watching people. And so for right here, you want to jump into the water. That way you're not walking and wading through the water as much. Now for here, we have a set sequence of what we're going to light. So hop into the water and light the first crate. Don't light a barrel, don't light any other debris, light a crate. And I was supposed to light this torch first. Go me! This is what happens when you try to think about stuff and explain it as you go. So let's pretend that didn't happen, and we're back here. Alright, so there's a specific chain of events what we want to do here. So first, light this. Now, we want to light a crate, not a barrel, not any other debris, but make sure you light one of those boxes. Then you come back and light the second one. Now those things are on fire as they're in there, so once you get up here, you don't have to wait for them. You could just hop up and in. And wait until you can confirm that one of those boxes will make it into the cage. Then you can just jump straight over and hit Y instead of having to light them while they're up in there. Now I don't know if this really saves much time, but if you come over to the left a little bit, you can get a jump, and I missed it. I need to go a little bit further to the left. The only reason I don't think it saves that much time is that you have to go to the left rather than straight forward. Fastest movement here is scramble jump or scramble roll. Take your pick. Both are about the same speed. All of the QTEs in this game are exactly the same every time you play through, and it doesn't matter on difficulty, so all the button presses are exactly the same, so you can predict them very well. All of the timed Y presses, though, you don't want to press them at the very first moment that you can. The reason being, sometimes that'll actually fail, even though you clearly pressed it after you were able to. For this climbing sequence, you can actually hold the direction, like right now, I'm holding to the right, before the rock falls, so you can predict those and hold the button earlier. So the first one's to the left, second one's to the right. Now we're out of the cave, so this is the end of the intro. And ideally you want to be, you want the screen to go to black in under 6 minutes 20 seconds. And this brings us to our first unskippable cutscene through during the run, aside from the first one that we couldn't skip. Alright, so right at the end of the Tomb Raider logo disappearing, you can actually jump right away. So if you just mash A or mash jump during that, you can get a kind of wonky jump. After this cutscene skip, walk a step and jump, and then if you do 2 scramble rolls, you should be able to roll right into the cutscene.
Okay, take it slow.
And for that terrain, going down to that tree, you want to jump straight down. Otherwise, she'll just walk. For going across this tree branch, though, it is not necessary to balance. Just hold forward. And then here we get a checkpoint, and you want to reload that checkpoint. Now, for beginners, though, I would not recommend trying this jump. You can actually make it all the way across. If you do the exact moves that I did there, that's fine. You actually take a chance of getting the jump. But if you scramble barely off the edge, I'm hopefully going to be able to show you, because I have not practiced this yet. But if you scramble right onto the edge, on PC this will be a lot easier, because this is using the PC's jump extension. Dang it. I'm almost getting it. And this was found out by Potato Handle. He found out about this little thing, and it saves the time from her climbing up. But I'm not too sure how he's able to get it. Yeah, I'm not able to get it. But if you just scramble on the end and jump up, you can make it up. On PC, that'll be a little bit easier. So for here, you want to scramble and roll or scramble and jump. Both are about the same. Just make sure you don't scramble off the edge there. The tutorials right here can't be skipped, and you cannot jump or hit X early.
Come on.
Skip that cutscene, and then you don't really have to worry about falling off here, so you could just roll around the corner. I should mention that I am doing this walkthrough live on Twitch, so I might be responding to some people in the chat. Off this cliff, just make sure you jump and get right into the cutscene. The cutscene won't trigger until she stands up. And for here, all you need to do is just fall down. You don't need to jump and grab the ledge. And as soon as you get down to the bottom, there's another checkpoint that you can reload. So anyway, I got Pewable in my chat right now. And the jump he's asking me about, saying it's impossible on console, was the one that I kept trying a couple times. And it is possible on console. Potato Handle is an Xbox runner that found that jump. And he's done it a couple times.
Here's the soon-to-be world.
So here we got 3 cutscenes back to back. This last one, you can skip it during this black screen. And now we're moving. So for this terrain, since it's a little bit downhill, it's faster to roll rather than jump, because her falling speed from the jump is slower than running, but her initial jump would be faster, which is why that is a little bit faster. Now for this, just hop on that rock and jump up here. I need to do this in a specific order like this, and if you do this as fast as possible, you can just hold right and you're in perfect timing for getting the bow there. Then quickly aim to hit this deer. It's a fairly tight window, but it's not too bad. If you do it in 3 arrows like that, that's okay. That's pretty much what I do all the time. It is possible to do it in 2, and one person has done it once with 1 arrow. But now that I have a little bit of extra time, it's this circular rock-like thing. Step on this, that allows you to jump and grab a hold up here. Because otherwise, if you try to jump too late... Oh wow, I'm actually shocked that she grabbed it, because I've jumped late and she didn't grab it. There we go, that's usually what happens. But pretty much guaranteed, if you step 1 foot on that rock, you're guaranteed to make it up. Then just turn a little bit, and then she kind of... I don't know, I always press forward like right here, and she automatically grabs a hold, and I just adjust my camera. So it's easy enough. Alright. So hitting the deer though will take a little bit of practice. If if you miss, just reload the checkpoint, and that puts you right when you stand up. So we could skip this cutscene, and now we don't need to go all the way down there to get anything. So now that we're going uphill, scramble and jump, because it skips the falling animation from her jump. And now we're supposed to go back to the camp. You know, if you use your sights here, it tells you to go back that way. But we have a, we've got to skip here to where we can go straight through this door. So we're supposed to go to the camp and come back here, and the store will be open. But we found out if you use Lara's lunge attack, which is pressing Y on Xbox, so it's doing this attack, whatever it is for other consoles, and if you rotate back and forth, you can kind of do something like that. And if you do that, I'm going to say roughly 20 times a second, at least on console, that'll allow you to do several things. You can climb steep surfaces that you're not supposed to, like walls. It'll also allow you to clip through doors. Now, certain doors that are, let's just call them thin, those you can clip very quickly and very easily. So how you clip doors is, for me, it's pressing Y. So doing this lunge attack, as soon as you press that, hit pause. Now this is a little bit different on PC. PC, you pretty much need to do this unbuffered. On console, you can do this buffered. So from here, I'm going to hold down, so my cursor is going to scroll through this menu, and I'm going to hit start. Now, Zayden timed this to be about 144 beats per second between the two pauses. If you want to just do like pause, unpause, pause, unpause. And, you know, what's 144? About that. You know, that's just me guessing. So, so I'm going to hold down and pretty much just mash pause, and that's going to get me to turn around like this. Now, for some reason, at this point, part of Lara is inside the door. Like, part of her geometry is inside the door. So if I hold up and unpause, something's going to pull her through the door. We're not too sure what it is. It just makes it something, something just causes that to happen, and it's very easy. So if you want a door to practice on, you can practice on this one. So I failed it there. Getting back through, this is actually a little bit of a thicker door getting back through, but that's all you do is just turn around and lunge. Now, the reason we have to go to the deer is because the bottom of this ladder down there doesn't load until you kill the deer for some reason. So once you climb down here, which you have to, climb back up and just jump straight down. Don't hold any directions, because this is like right on the edge of where she's going to take some fall damage. So if you land like right in the center, you're fine. Going around onto the edges, you should be okay. But if you come over here, as you can see, it's a little bit lower, so she's going to die. So just jump in, don't press anything, and let her fall.
What am I doing?
Alright, so coming in here, and because we didn't go to the camp,
This is insane.
it's raining in here, even though it shouldn't. So it's kind of weird. And when the last bit of the burning piece falls down, jump over and you can get over to the cutscene. You don't want to open up that door, you just want to come straight through and just open up this door. And because I aimed my bow, I had to relight my torch here. And if you clip the door, she's gonna have to relight her torch. So don't ADS, aim down sights, and just open the door normally and come in. Come in here, and she won't have to relight the torch. And there's no way to skip her lighting it. For here, to try to show you a little bit of a trick, if you can wall jump up this wall, And if you do it just right, I've done this once before, you can actually get all the way up to this rung right here. Now, if you don't want to do that and just want to jump straight up onto here, that's fine too. Just climb up normally, don't jump, just climb normally until you get to this rung. Now from here, you can jump up. If she'll do it, there she goes. Come on. And you can jump all the way up to the top, and it's a little bit faster than just climbing up. Now once you get out here, she's going to start walking, and the fastest way to move is to lunge 4 times. After the 4th time, you can then start jumping, and she'll move a little bit faster.
Did you get that? Got it.
And I got somebody in my chat, Pewable, is telling me that it is possible to skip lighting the torch, but you have to reload the checkpoint, so it's definitely not faster to do that. Might be an idea for a segmented run, though. So there's 3 wolves here that you have to kill. All 3 of them are exactly the same every single time. And the goal is to kill them before the slowdown. And once it gets down to that, where she is trying to pry open the bear trap, that's when you can start skipping the cutscene. Don't try it earlier, otherwise you'll open up your map. And then from here, once you get to this camp, you get a checkpoint. You want to reload this checkpoint. Reason for this is since we didn't go to the first camp, our thinking is that when you try to go to the next camp, the game is going to try to load 2 tutorials at the same time. So to avoid that, just reload the checkpoint there.
I don't like the sound of that.
And then we need 50 salvage. So this is the fastest route. Probably one of the latest things discovered, because we all used a different route, and then this was found, and it's like 2 seconds faster than the previous route. We'll grab those, come up here. Here's our last one. Now we have 50. Now if there's wolves chasing you, don't worry about that. Just trigger this cutscene and it despawns the wolves.
These are fascinating.
Skip the cutscene and you've already got your 50 salvage. So you can come straight here. Upgrade your pickaxe and you're done.
Alright, Laura. Shall we give it a go then?
Let's do this, Doctor.
Whenever you're ready.
Now, in certain places when you have to mash a button, like right there, it doesn't matter what speed you do it. So you can do that pretty slow. And right as soon as you gain control, you could do a scramble there.
Given the age of the symbols.
It doesn't save too much time because she has to light her torch.
Are you sure you're not?
And so now we have to walk.
Well, there's no doubt. Himiko had power. Some say shamanistic, elemental.
A woman wields that much power, and sooner or later it gets called witchcraft.
We shouldn't discount anything, even what may seem to us irrational. We still have much to learn about the world.
You sound like my father.
It could be one hell of a story, Laura.
Not if we don't live to tell it.
Alright,
Incredible. It is Himiko.
got it. Okay, so when you have back-to-back cutscenes, like right here, if you constantly are mashing your back button to skip the cutscenes, it's select on Xbox. In between the 2 cutscenes, you can actually open up your map. So as soon as you skip a as soon as you skip the cutscene, let go. Don't mash the button continuously. Just wait a second for the next cutscene to start. There's no cutscene that you can skip immediately, so it's fine if you wait a second just to confirm that the cutscene starts to skip it.
Who are you people?
And we did try using that technique to skip certain things, but haven't found anything yet. So now we're in the stealth section. This is a really boring section. This guy is ridiculously blind, so you can go pretty quick. These guys do have pretty good sights though, so just kind of be careful. Don't roll, otherwise they'll see you. Once you get to this tree though, you can.
This group's got some fight. Then I have to kill myself. Too bad. Could have used some more recruits. All right.
And wait for this guy. This guy's got pretty good sights as well, so wait for him to get past. I'm playing this very conservatively. You can move a lot earlier than I am, but like I said, this is for some guys that are just wanting to learn the game that's new. So wait till that guy turns around and then walk over here. And that's the end of this stealth section. And we'll pick up our next weapon.
No one escapes. Out.
So if anybody knows what the Russian is, what they're saying, I'm kind of curious. So now we're at another QTE. It's the same every single time. So I'm not hitting Y as soon as possible. Like I explained earlier, that if you do it as soon as possible, sometimes it'll fail randomly. These 2 shots do nothing to the guy. I just like to shoot him because I can. Wiggle the stick. And as soon as that's done, hold down right trigger while you're mashing X, or while you're mashing whatever button. Because as soon as it gets to the point to where you can hit that button, it'll automatically fire. Alright, for this next section, you kind of want to jump up these stairs because they can stop you if you roll. So it's best to just run up there. And then keep rolling as much as you can here. As soon as you can't roll again, do a lunge, and that'll get you to trigger this cutscene sooner. If you can get 2 really quick headshots right here, that's ideal. And I missed right there. But her first shot is guaranteed to get a headshot on the first guy. The second one, you have to be quick. After a set amount of time, let's just say a half second to a second, her aim gets really, really bad, and it's like part of the story. Like, this is the first time that she's killing somebody after getting the pistol, so she's nervous, shall we say. But if you miss the second guy, just kind of spam the trigger, and you should be able to kill him before he takes cover. And you during that sequence anyway, you have an unlimited ammo, so don't worry about it. Once the slowdown finishes though, then you do have limited ammo. Don't worry about the pistol ammo right there. It's really up to you if you want to pick up these arrows or not. During this sequence, the game just gives you arrows, so you can kill that one guy. But I like to pick them up for this next section anyway, because these guys are one-hit kills while you're quote silent, or they don't know that you're there. But if you fire the pistol, the second guy will know that you're there, and then shoot down the third guy from the ladder.
Lara, are you there?
Yes.
I can see smoke coming from the old ruins. Are you okay?
Oh God, Roth, I'm in trouble. They're killing people.
What? Who?
Men. I don't know why. I had to kill some of them. I had no choice.
That can't have been easy.
It's scary just how easy it was. You've got to warn the others, Roth.
Don't worry about them right now. You just do whatever it takes to get to me, Lara.
I'll try.
Huh. Interesting. That's something I'll need to test before I mention it. Somebody in my chat just typed something about the QTEs, and I don't want to mention it in this walkthrough just yet until I can verify it. Not that I don't trust the individual, it's just I want to test it first. So to dodge the 2 guys, then other guys from spawning, just go on that route. And then you don't really get burnt from the fire right there, so you can kind of just walk through it. And it's up to you who you want to kill in this room. Again, don't want to take up too much time, so I only killed the 2 guys, even though you don't really have to. And then this next spot, if it's easier, kill all these guys. Otherwise, you can just go through. You want this guy to shoot at you, so that he doesn't shoot you off of this rope. So if he hits you once, it's okay. You're not going to die. But if he doesn't shoot you, he does have a chance of shooting you off the rope. So roll all the way into this this area.
I can do this.
There we go. Not much to really say here, just kind of waiting for Lara to get all the way up to the top. Alright, there's one scene here, and as soon as it's done skipping, you can actually get a quick roll in here to move forward just a little bit, but I didn't get it that time. It's a fairly tight window. So climbing up to the top, for the most part, it's fairly simple. But the ending is going to take a little bit of practice, and some people have failed it during runs. To get up these stairs, I feel like I have to explain this because there was a couple runners that weren't too sure about it. But get to about here, and you can jump onto the stairs, and from there you can jump straight up. So it makes it's actually fairly simple, and you don't have to run up the stairs at all. So to kind of show you it in full motion, coming around, just kind of do it like that, and it's pretty quick. So then this next part is the tricky part. So hop onto this railing, get as close to the wall as you can, and don't press a direction, jump and press forward and a little bit to the right, and she should grab onto this roof a bit. So this will take a little bit of practice to get, but that's actually that's the harder part. This next part is a little bit easier. You can jump onto this rope either straight from here, or what I like to do is make sure that my camera is in a good spot, jump onto the roof, and then jump again so that I have a little bit more time to grab the rope. And doing this, you can watch the wolf at the top of the screen. He howls, runs back, and disappears because you're not supposed to be able to get up here this quick. And again, you're forced to light your torch, so you have to stay there. And something I like to do in my runs, if you're quick, there's a wolf that runs right out in front of you. If you're quick, you can shoot it. And no point in salvaging it for anything, but it's kind of cool if you can nail it like I did.
That's it.
So here's getting the pack. To save a couple seconds from walking back to the front of the cave, wait a second and a checkpoint will trigger. Reload that, and when you reload this, mash B or your scramble button. It's like a frame perfect trick. Cool, I got it. And doing that will cause this QTE to run to start quicker. And once we get out of the cave, we can start scrambling again. And then just follow this path to get down. Hold left while you're on the rope so that you can get straight over to get off to the side. And you're good to go here. And then kind of jump towards that rock. You can trigger the checkpoint on the close side of the rock. You don't actually have to jump on top of it. So once those cutscenes skip, you want to scramble and roll. If you jump, you'll go slower. If you walk, you'll go even slower than normal. Now, something to mention, when going on rock surfaces like this, you want to jump around because that'll be a lot quicker. But when you're going around a corner like this, you can risk jumping off. Like for this case, you'll jump off into the water. To counter that, rotate your camera as you're doing these jumps and if it's parallel with the wall, she'll grab onto it. Then for this spot, you can jump up those two platforms without climbing up. So for this wall, once you get up to here, you're going to get a tutorial on how to jump between surfaces, which we've already been doing if you're speedrunning this. So what you want to do is jump up, which shit, there's the tutorial. We want to skip it. So you can actually, okay, apparently I can't do this and explain it at the same time. It's better if I just do it. So get up onto the wall, you want to jump twice, and then you can jump over, and then right there, I got the tutorial, but usually you don't get it if you end up doing it like that, so you can skip the tutorial, but if you get the tutorial, it takes up like a quarter to a half a second. It's really not much at all. So I got some people in my chat talking about certain skips, and I'll bring those up later, but I guess it is worth mentioning that I'm not going to be showing every single skip, and I'm going to be kind of thinking of a little bit safer routes for some of the more risky parts of the run. So there is one skip that would save 1 minute, but I'm not going to be doing that in this run. I will mention it when I get there though. When you climb up this, hit the A button or your jump button so you get a jump right at the beginning. If you reload this checkpoint, you can actually roll twice, but it doesn't save any time.
SOS from an old radio tower up here. Any tips?
Hey, Laura. You're gonna need to find the communications console. It'll look like a bunch of old switchboards.
So once you're at this edge, if you hold up and left and kind of rotate your joystick, you might get a chance to where she'll fall like that during the walking and talking sequence. If it doesn't happen, don't worry about it, just jump up onto the rope. But if you get it during the walkie-talkie sequence, it won't be, it'll actually save a little bit of time to fall down. Once you get through here, you have to go to this camp. Every once in a while this cutscene will not trigger. We're not too sure what happens. Just go stand by the camp and wait for it to trigger. Otherwise the area doesn't load. So you've got 3 cutscenes to skip again. Then we're going to stop at this camp. Now, once you get more advanced, you don't really need to stop at this camp, but what I recommend getting, especially for beginners, you should have 2 skill points. If you didn't kill anybody, you'll have 2. If you started killing some people, you might have 3. But continue as if you had 2, because once you start running this, you're only going to have 2. So pick up pain tolerance, and then I would recommend coming back and getting the first ammo capacity upgrade. This is just to help ensure that you're not going to run out of ammo. So for these guys, you can just roll past them and skip them. Don't worry about the guy in the turret. As long as you keep moving, he won't kill you. Now, one thing you need to be careful about is when you're around enemies and you scramble, she's going to automatically scramble away from the enemies, which might be in a bad direction. So just be careful when you scramble near enemies. For these guys, just jump around them and they won't hit you. Oh, I guess I should mention, once you get better at this game, you don't need to stop at that first camp. Doggone it. Every once in a while, you'll... Did this really just happen? This is extremely, extremely rare. There is nothing I can do, and I have to reload the checkpoint here. Every once in a while, you'll get shot off that rope. And when you get shot off, you land on the platform, so you can just fall into the water. So it's not that big of a deal. But what happened to me is I was like not really paying attention, and I ended up grabbing onto the rope. If that happens, you're kind of SOL. That's happened to me once before. But that was like a long time ago, and that's why I'm saying it's extremely rare. Whoa. Yeah, if you get those 2 guys back to back like that, you can just jump over them, it's okay.
This bunker. World War II era.
So I've got a couple people in my chat that know the game. They're like, what? I've never seen that. Okay, so for here you've got a couple options of what you can do. Main thing is you can skip killing these guys. You want to kill that guy as quickly as possible, then pop a quick headshot, and now you can clip through this door like before, like clipping before. And the reason you want to kill the enemies is that, one, it doesn't take up too much time, and two, it allows you to clip that door easily. Now this door, for whatever reason, and say hello to this guy poking his head through the door, you want to be on the right side. So from this side it's the left, but when you're on the when you're looking this direction, you want to be on the right side, and that'll allow you to clip the door, and it's really easy. If you're too scared to clip that door, just ignore all the enemies and go through this area normally, and go through the thing over there. Now, for this next part, you're supposed to open this thing up, let gas into the room, and then throw in one of those lanterns to cause this explosion. And we're going to skip that. So because this area was going to be exploded anyway, they didn't make everything quite solid, like, I don't know, the top of this door. Figuring, you know, you can't get up there, you can't jump, so we're not going to make it solid so the game doesn't have to load as much. And even if you know, come up on here and try to jump over, you're not going to be able to get up there. Well, there actually is a possible way to do it. So since I've already shown the door clip, so you can clip this door. This door is just as easy to clip as any other door. So that is one method. The other method is to clip through this wall up here. So like I said, it's not solid, so I'm going to show you that method rather than the door. And so what you need to do is hop up onto this console. You can't walk all the way up for some reason, so what we're going to do is we're going to jump forward and then jump to the left and do it like that. And I stopped holding forward so I didn't actually do the clip, but this is fairly consistent, so that's all you do, and then you just jump over the door and you're through. And the assault rifle is just there on the ground, so instead of the guy dying and dropping it, you can just pick it up. And pick up this ammo just in case. Now we want to get several headshots really quick. So during the slowdown you can't really move. So try to quickly aim at these guys. The first two guys definitely need to die. If you can get those four, you're in good shape because this door will open. Sometimes you need the fifth. But come up here, the guys will all run out, so you're fine. Kill this guy to get him out of your way. Lunge into the door from a distance. Doing this is going to prevent Lara from taking cover on the sides of the door. For whatever reason, she does that in combat. So lunging into it from a distance will prevent that. So what I've already done is I've started clipping this door, so that's what we're going to do here. And this door sometimes does take a while to get. So I got it in two, so that's not too bad. And you see there's enemies there. And we're just going to continue on. Now, sometimes this cutscene does not trigger right away. If that's the case, come up and stand right here and wait for the cutscene to trigger. Because if you go over here and continue on, you're going to get some crazy camera shit going on. And I don't know if it actually wastes time by doing that instead of waiting for the cutscene. Maybe it triggers it sooner, but it really, really does look weird. Okay, so now we're out into the snow.
This isn't normal.
You can roll across this beam or just jump onto it. If you jump onto it, she'll kind of auto jump to the center of it, so you don't have to worry about it too much. If you roll, you do stand a chance of falling off. Now, this next part, I'd recommend doing this as a beginner because it's really not that difficult. Come to this side, aim about right here, hold up and left and press A, and you should be able to walk up onto this. It's very simple, and now you're out of bounds. This gate is not solid. Do that and come over here. this can be faster than going around. It also doesn't spawn the enemies up here, which allows you to do this next door clip without enemies around. So again, lunge into it from a distance just in case, then clip the door, which is not working. This is probably one of the easier doors to clip, and it's not working. That's really weird. Okay, so now that we clipped this door, we can keep going. And come up onto the stairs just a little bit, and you can grab up onto here. There's two guys shooting at you. Don't worry about them. It's very rare that they're going to kill you, which I have a feeling that they're going to. This is going to be interesting to show this. I've been shot off this rope once, but ended up being okay. So you just come up and get up onto the radio tower. From here, you just hold up the entire way, and you get to relax and say hello to your chat, or take a drink of water. So really not much to say going up here. The one thing I do like about running this game is that it's a lot of action followed by a quick break. And the longest scene of taking a break is about 1.5 minutes. So there's no long 10-minute boring sequences aside from the beginning that is gonna cause you a lot of agony of, come on, let's go, let's go. Although the first 10 minutes, maybe even the first 20, are a little boring. So once you get to the top of the radio tower here and she jumps and grabs a hold, you can actually stop holding up from there. The rest of it's a scripted cutscene. Now, to talk about this section here, every once in a while, if you did the sequence that I just did, you'll run into a glitch where Lara will not be on the radio tower like she is here. So I'm going to explain to you how to do this if you get the glitch. There's no way to actually trigger it. I was hoping it would happen so I could explain it, but if you get it normal, you just put this first one right there. If you get the glitch, this is where I recommend putting on subtitles, unless you can really hear your TV well, which I can't. So just keep rotating it around until you get about there. Then you see my subtitles kick in. So once you're there, just switch to the other side, hold a direction on a joystick and mash X, and you're done.
Mayday! Mayday! This is Lara Croft of the Endurance.
And then coming down here, not much to really say. To just quickly respond to somebody in the chat, I'm going to be kind of vague about it. I'll explain about that when I get up to that area, because I understand a little bit more about it now because I ran into the same thing. So from here, load this. Now be careful about this next cutscene skip. Don't skip it as quickly as possible. You run the risk of a black screen. And when you get the black screen, you cannot pause the game. You can't really do anything. You can switch weapons, you can fire your weapons, you can run around, but you can't pause the game or do anything else. And I have no idea where you're loaded or anything, so the best thing that you can do is just run off in a direction and keep jumping until you eventually jump off a cliff. And at least nobody's been able to trigger that on purpose and find a use for it. Here's another checkpoint that we reload to skip part of a cutscene. and
I have to get to him.
again, responding to my chat. I'll explain that later. It deals with patches. Alright, so coming through here, there's really no fast way through here. Just make sure you do not jump onto the same platform more than once. And when I say more than once, jumping onto it counts as one. So don't jump on it at all. Just jump in between. Whoops, I'm reading my chat and not paying attention. Alright, so coming through here, you could just skip this guy, and now we're up to the second camp. Now, if you're feeling adventurous and didn't stop at the first camp, this is the camp you want to stop at. So at this point, you should have three skills, if you didn't spend one at the beginning. Didn't spend any at the beginning. So for this one, you'll want to pick up Pain Tolerance, Dirty Tricks. So if you did my other two from before, you just pick up Dirty Tricks. And I would pick up Ammo Capacity just to be safe. So from here, we're going to do the Dirty Trick Slide, which lets Lara move at her normal running speed during walkie-talkie sequences. There's a couple of those throughout the game. So from here, just run forward a little bit, scramble into the sequence, and use Dirty Tricks. So now she's going to be sliding. It's very, very simple to do. Something to keep in mind though, do not mash any button. Just press B once, just press Y once. Alright, so while you're upside down here, you have unlimited ammo. So you want to get headshots as quickly as possible. Sometimes that second guy doesn't want to. And ideally, you want to shoot the third guy off of the rope. For this, if you mash right bumper during this cutscene, it is possible to throw your rope arrows out early and not hit that. Now, for beginners, I would recommend pulling this one down as well. It kills one guy for you and allows you to just have to concentrate on two guys. So you want to quickly get 2 headshots if you can, and now we don't have to deal with those enemies. If you're feeling adventurous, don't kill any enemies and just go through this section. But now with all the enemies dead, you get a checkpoint right there. So now you have a decision to make. You can make a rope bridge right here, or you can go for this jump right here. Now, best case scenario, you can hold forward right here and she's not going to fall off, so you're fine. So from here, jump, hold forward, try to land on that rock, and then jump over here. And if you do that, you've got it. So you just come over here, jump up, and you're done. And you can jump over that fence. Another option for you, this is something I haven't tried out yet. There is a section that you can jump on right there to jump onto this rock to get over here. So that's something else that you can do. Otherwise, just make a rope bridge and come across normally. A good question. I don't know if it's if you can clip through that door. That's something I haven't tested, and I would test it right now. Unfortunately, sometimes doing that will cause certain things to not load and corrupt my file forever.
I'm really glad.
So yeah, if any runners that are in my chat, we need to test that, because I don't know. Alright, so there's 3 guys to your right. If you just stay to the left of these boxes, you're good to go. You don't have to worry about them at all. Pretty straightforward here.
I'm here, Reyes. What's your situation?
We followed a group of men to some kind of city. This place is insane, Rob. What the hell are they doing here?
I don't know, and I don't think I want to know. Any sign of Sam or women?
Nothing yet. Are you with Lara?
Yes.
Okay, so I got an interesting question in my chat, so I'll explain that, talk about that in a second. For these two guys, they're silent kills. You can use the pistol, but I would just recommend using the bow. Then once you get here, jump down, and then you can just follow this path, and you'll be fine. So a question I had was how hand intensive is running this game for somebody with tendinitis. Now, having no personal experience with tendinitis, I'm not too sure how certain things will affect you, because there is some button mashing and stuff later on, like the Alex skip, where you have to mash start for about a minute or so. It might cause some problems, but I don't think that this game is very hand intensive, especially since there's a lot of spots, like right here, you can just hold up and you're not doing too much. There's a lot of breaks throughout the run. Alright, so now we're going to come up to another dirty trick slide. And it's right at the bottom of this. So once you get down this slide, get next to the boards, scramble, and do the dirty trick slide. So now you're sliding.
Don't worry, there's gotta be another way off this rock, right?
I hope so. Any sign of Sam?
You attracted to some old Japanese path.
Now for the dirty trick slide, there's multiple ways to cancel it. One is getting into a cutscene, which happened before. The others, like this one, we have to cancel it because once this sequence is done, we can start moving. So for that one, you want to aim your gun, and then you can move again. Sometimes you can jump, but this one you can't for some reason. I think it's just because she has her torch lit and she's walking. So for this section, don't jump, just scramble through.
Captain Jessup? Oh my god!
Alright, so for here, we just want to swing back and forth. Nothing much to really say about it.
What's happening here?
Now, with that sequence, I don't know if it's possible on a regular gameplay, but if you reload that checkpoint, you can actually get a jump off of there, which can allow you to get out of bounds. Now, as far as I know, there is no console runners that do this. Some of the PC guys do, and the world record PC holder does. But there is the Monastery skip, which you can hop onto this rock right here and get out of bounds, but there's this huge invisible wall that you have to jump around that's extremely difficult, at least on console. It might be easier on PC, I don't know. But you have to get your shotgun first, so you would do this and then you go back and do that. But like I said, nobody on console really does it, so I wouldn't recommend it, especially for a beginner. So just go through this area normally, and of course we've got strats for this whole area. Doing the Monastery skip does save 1 minute if you get it on your first try,
They're looking for me.
and each reset sets you back about 20 seconds. So first thing, pull out your bow, because it's going to automatically go to your shotgun, and pull that out. And kill those two guys, and then the rest of them are going to come down this rope. So even from a distance, just shoot them down. Easy enough. And then, that was dumb of me. You can roll through this gap. So just scramble, roll through to save a nice amount of time. So So apparently there is one console runner that did it every time, but he has since abandoned running as far as I know. So there was one console runner that did it. So doing the out of bounds pretty much just skips this somewhat of an auto scroller sequence going around the monastery. Okay, yeah, go to the left, sure. To climb up this thing, just hold up, but sometimes she'll go to the right, like that. Now, when you do the monastery skip, you actually skip spawning some of these guys, but unfortunately, you have to kill them, but they're really easy. Pop the first guy. You can get the shield guy when he comes down, but I missed him. But just dodge one of his attacks, and you're good to go. Point blank shotgun blast will kill guys in one hit. There's just one section of the game that's not true. Alright, so not much else to really say about this. Oh, I guess I could explain about the next guys that you have to kill. But just do this puzzle, just like this. It is possible to close the... Whoops, what? I did not hit that button. Okay. It is possible to close the window before it smashes into the thing, into the pillar, so just make sure you don't close it too quickly. And after the second one, just run over here because we have to kill these guys before we can open up the next window. So shoot that guy off of there. And just pop these guys as they jump up. You can get both of these last two guys in one shot, but I missed it.
Shit! I've got to get out of here. That bell should do it.
So open that up. Now that both windows are open, you can now do the main bell. So for a beginner, I'd recommend trying to get up to this point in about 50 minutes, maybe 55. Record run to that point is about 44 minutes. So yeah, maybe 55 minutes will be a good estimate for a beginner. Alright, so for whatever reason, or not for whatever reason, but for this section and a couple others, we're required to have the shotgun. At one point there was a method for skipping getting the shotgun. Like if we skipped getting the shotgun and did the monastery skip, we get screwed at that spot because there's no way to continue.
Roth, are you there?
I'm heading towards the palace. The others
And after skipping that cutscene, you can get a scramble and roll right there, but it's a pretty tight window. I don't get it all that often. So pull out your bow. You should have a few arrows left. And I would recommend waiting for this guy to get far enough away. Wow, I can't believe I missed that. Get that guy, shoot this guy, then come over and shoot this third guy. Now, if you miss him and he goes down, you can actually shoot him over the table like that, and it's pretty simple. And then you get this checkpoint, reload it. This checkpoint does two things. One, it warps you forward, and two, it gets rid of a shotgun barricade. But in the fastest runs, you could probably go through and not reload that checkpoint, and it'll probably be just as fast, if not faster.
Oh God. No.
So I did mention a good goal time for beginners up to that monastery part, but then I just realized that it's kind of hard to give an estimate, especially from here to the rest of the game, because some of these tricks are rather difficult. So follow this section, come down here, pull out your shotgun, and just kill these guys as you go by. Kill these guys as you go by. Okay, that guy doesn't want to die. This is like really consistent, but for some reason the guy did not want to die.
No way around. I've got to cross.
So if you kill the guys as you go down, you don't have to do this. Oh my goodness. But I guess for a beginner it's fine if that happens. But get into that corner and you can survive. Once you have full health, you should be able to get up into this cutscene. But once you trigger this cutscene, you're safe. There is a chance that they can kill you as soon as you start the cutscene, which has happened to me once, and it's kind of cool. But if that happens, you just have to reload the checkpoint, which is right at the start of the cutscene. But anyway, a beginner's goal time for this game, I would say, would be sub 2.5 hours. Mainly because some of these skips are quite difficult, and can take some time to get the consistency down. But since we do know a lot of fight skips, it might be less than that. Yeah, the new way to go through that area is not very hard. I just made it difficult for some reason. It usually happens when you do tutorials. Everything just goes terrible. Going through these trees, there's 2 routes. Take your pick. Doesn't matter. I go to the left. So now we're into Shantytown. According to the game's dialogue, it's a Shantytown, but they call it Shantytown. They call the name Shantytown's right there. It says current location Shantytown. But all the runners like to call this different things. One of them is Screw You Town. The other is Skip City. Just take your pick. Alright, so coming up is what we call the Spud Slide. A runner by the name of Potato Handle, which is where the Spud part comes from, found out that if you mash lunge going through the sequence, you can get her to go a lot quicker than normal. And so right there I didn't get it, so that's the normal speed. I'm going to try it one more time, maybe 2 more times to see if I can get it. But on Xbox anyway, you just mash Y as you're going through here. And yeah, I'll go for it one more time. It's very, very tight. I've gotten it twice. Once was in a bow-only test run, and the other was in a race that I was like way far behind. And I didn't get it. But what happens is you end up going through this sequence double the speed. You mash Y. I got somebody ask. And we thought it was B and Y, but we did find out that it was just Y. And it's pretty much frame perfect as far as we can tell. And we don't know what frame. But as you can see, this is a very long sequence, and it costs 0 time to go for it once, so just go for it. Alright, so worst case scenario is if you have no arrows. So you come up here, and you can pick up a couple. So you have 2 guys that you want to kill. Do the right one first, and then the left. And you have plenty of time to do it. This guy up top won't see you, but if you want, you can just pick him off to be safe. So a couple things to keep in mind, because now I'm going to start talking about later stuff, but I need to explain it now. So going through this section, you want to do exactly what I've done so far. Don't trigger any extra sequences. Like, there is a bear trap around here somewhere. I'm not entirely certain where it's at. You don't want to get stuck into that. Now, this next section is post-patch only. About a month, or maybe 2 months after the game was released, there was a title update for the game. You need to have that in order for this next sequence to work correctly. So, normally you're supposed to go down that way over to the chopper. She takes care of her wound that's on her stomach, and you get fire arrows. We're gonna skip that. So do a wall jump off of here. This takes a little bit of time. Just find your setup that works for you. What I do is I jump here and then rotate the stick to the right to try to get her to turn to the right. But it's not exactly working for me. Wow, this wall jump actually is not too difficult to do. There we go. And so once you get this wall jump, that's done. So this skip, I believe, is found by Pewable initially, but at the time it was not possible to do. It was confirmed by me later that post-patch you can do this. So this wall jump will just take a little bit of time. That's why I recommend killing those guys. But even for beginners, I would recommend doing this. So then we come down here. Fastest method of travel right now is jumping. Do not jump near edges. You do not want to grab onto something on this side of the map. Don't worry about picking up ammo. We're not going to be killing anybody for a while. Alright, so this checkpoint, you want to reload it because now you're going to be able to move like normal. So, pre-patch, we could not skip this gate because the rest of the area didn't load correctly. Now it does for some reason. So now we're going to clip through this gate. But this gate is a lot thicker than most other doors. So instead of just doing a 2-pause method like that, we're going to have to constantly go back and forth. So just mash start by pressing the opposite direction that Lara is facing, and eventually she will clip through like this. That was actually pretty good, best case scenario. Sometimes it won't work, but it's okay. Once you clip through though, make sure you have fire arrows. If the game just kind of randomly gives them to you. If you do not have fire arrows, which has happened to me once, and we were guessing it's because I got trapped in that bear trap that I mentioned back there, you're screwed. You can't continue the game if you have fire arrows. Now, here's one of the bigger skips. You're supposed to go down in this direction, meet Grim, talk to him, do a fight, and then come around here. But there's a way to clip through right here. It's like, as you can see, she can almost get through there. So what you want to do, and this method, this clip was found by Akion and then later perfected by Meb to do this. So you're going to aim at this spot, make sure that you're in this corner. So pretty much just walk into the corner, turn the camera around, aim right here, and hold back for a split second. So now once you're here, don't press anything other than, for me it's left trigger, so for your ADS, for aiming down sights. Press scramble twice. Now from here, just move your aim in this direction and hold back, and it should work. And probably because I was doing this slow, it didn't exactly work. But do that, slowly move it over, hold back, and you're through. This is what we're gonna say is 99% possible and accurate. So just look at where I aimed and move slowly. Don't do it as quickly as possible. If you do it too fast, it won't work. But you have a large amount of time to do it. So once you do that, jump up here and keep going. You skipped spawning all the enemies that are right here. Now if you do this fast enough, you can actually jump up onto that, but since I took my time, I couldn't. But it's okay, you don't have to wait too long for the next one to come by. So you can jump on it at any point in time. I like to just sit here and wait, and then once it's confirmed past me, jump up. Now for here, don't mash A, because it is possible to jump as soon as you climb up here, and you will die and get a white screen. And you can't continue until at least exiting to the menu. I don't think it corrupts your file. Now, right where that dynamite is about to explode, there's supposed to be a bridge there. Because we did this Akion/Meb clip, the backside of Shantytown didn't fully load. Also, the air is kind of foggy. Once this backside loads, it becomes quote-unquote daytime. So when that happens, the backside loads, the sun all of a sudden comes out, and that bridge loads. So the dynamite just exploded on nothing. Once you get over here, it becomes day, and the bridge has now loaded. So now we're going to skip this fight. There's 2 different ways to do this, and I'm going to show you how to do it both ways. Hopefully I don't trigger a checkpoint. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to create a backup save. So ideally what you want to do is come up here, jump onto the bridge, jump to the far side, float to the left, she'll grab on, climb up, you're good. Now, let's say you screw this up and die. First off, don't reload the checkpoint. Why? The bridge disappears. So if you get that, what you're going to do is just roll to the back side of the far platform. It'll trigger a checkpoint. Reload that checkpoint. But make sure you get that checkpoint before reloading. If you screw this up, best thing to do is to climb up here, hold forward, and wait. There's ways to manipulate this, but for beginners, if you screw that up, I would just recommend waiting until that happens. Once a Molotov is thrown on your ass, which could take more than 1 try, like I just got it on the first try, so that's like a what the fuck kind of a thing, because that never happens. But once your ass is lit on fire and you're holding forward, she'll actually run out, and then you can jump out of it, and you can get to the far platform that way. But anyway, once you're across and you climb up on the other side, there's the checkpoint, and so it's right here. So you end up climbing up right here. Just roll forward, you trigger that checkpoint, and you want to reload that checkpoint. So whichever method you use, you get over here, you're done. So now we can continue on. First off, say hello to Grim. If you do the second method that I just did, Grim will appear right here. Otherwise, he'll appear up there. He's a ghost, and there's really nothing you can do about it, but it's kind of funny to watch this next cutscene with him down there. During this, you can hold forward to trigger this next scene sooner. Otherwise, the guy will fire, I think, 5 arrows, and this cutscene will trigger.
I got her.
And right here's the funny part. A bullet goes straight through Grim.
I've got you covered, girl.
So we hop up here.
Climb up.
Now this next sequence, I'm going to show you how to do this, but for beginners, I would not worry about it. I wouldn't go for it. But if you're going to go for it, I'll just go ahead and show it. Pretty much go as quickly as possible, so just make sure you scramble rolling. Try not to get caught on anything. And then this next part's going to take a little bit of practice.
Did you hear that? A rescue helicopter is inbound.
Get your dirty trick slide, get over into this corner, and you can clip out. And it takes a while to find the right angle, and you have a little bit of time to do this, and you can get over here. Once you're over here and the scene ends, aim down sights to cancel the glitch, and you can hop up onto this rock. Now, that skips a walkie-talkie sequence right here. That's what that does. It also gets you further up. Otherwise, you just sit over there, wait for the scene to end, and then you can hop over, and then you trigger the sequence here. So it does save time to do this, and then you just hop over here, come up. For here, just climb up. If you're feeling adventurous, you can jump on top of these to skip her climbing animation, but it's kind of whatever. Once you're up here, just turn around and jump over.
Lara, I've got them in my sights.
Here goes.
Now, to save a couple seconds, once you get up to this point here, press A to climb up, and then once she's up, press forward and B, and you can get a scramble and a roll in while you're up there, and it saves a little bit of time. And if you miss it, it's not that big of a deal.
I thought I lost you, girl. Are you okay?
That was too close.
So for this sequence, you don't have to jump along the side of the bridge like I am, except for this spot right here, but it does have the potential of saving a little bit of time. But you do have to wait for these enemies, and as soon as they're confirmed dead, you can move. You don't have to wait for Roth to tell you to. So once he's dead, just hold to the right.
Lara, I think you're clear.
Thanks for the cover. I think that makes us even.
Lara, look out!
Alright, this goes next!
And for this, you can mash X during this cutscene.
They went over! Is she dead? I don't know, I can't see. There she is!
Now, for this next little bit, I would not recommend scrambling or rolling because there is a chance that it will lock your jump button and you won't be able to jump between platforms. So just go ahead and run down this whole sequence. Scrambling and rolling is not even going to save you a second in that sequence anyway. Now we're going to do another dirty trick slide. So as soon as you grab onto the top of this, when you climb up, don't mash any buttons. Just hit A to climb up, then B, then Y to do dirty tricks. That way you don't...
Are you sure about this, Lara?
that way you can get it. Otherwise you can jump once you get off of... once you climb up and it doesn't work. Let the dirty trick slide keep going. You can cancel it before you get to the spot, but it's she ends up slowing down to get into the sequence until the cutscene starts. So if you stay in your dirty trick slide, it'll get you into the cutscene faster. And so now we're done with Shantytown. Once you get done here, there's a checkpoint right there. Reload this. It skips her climbing up. Shantytown is probably one of the more technical areas to learn, but once you get it, it's not too bad. It's not the hardest. None of those are the hardest tricks in the game. So starting at these checkpoints, this is roughly the halfway point in the game in terms of a speed run. And after skipping this third cutscene, you can get a jump or a roll out of it, and but it seems to be frame perfect. Now the reason why I told you to double check that you had fire arrows is because this is the only section of the game that it's required that you have fire arrows. She kind of goes slow through this section, so just roll through, and that's why you need fire arrows, because you have to blow that stuff up. We have not found a skip for it yet.
Probably flammable.
Once you climb through here, scramble and then do a lunge attack to trigger this scene a little bit sooner. If you try to roll, she won't roll. So that's why I say do a lunge attack, but make sure you don't do dirty tricks, which is what you do after pressing Y right after a scramble. So make sure you wait a second to make sure you don't do dirty tricks, and that you actually do a lunge. For this section, she's scripted to fall, so when you see her kind of do her falling animation, just jump and that'll cancel it. When you pop this open, get over to this corner next to the door. The explosion won't do anything to you, and you can come up. Once you get to the top of these stairs, don't roll at all, because these guys will see you. And so you can do this stealthily by killing these guys in reverse order. And you have to be somewhat quick with it, but it's not too difficult. And then just kill that fourth guy, and then that skips spawning 2 extra guys. Oh, I'm not paying attention. Pop that open, and as soon as you fire an arrow here, you actually have time to get a roll in, and she actually completes her roll, even during the cutscene. Hop up onto here. It is possible to get a jump over. And at this point, for beginners, I'd say just scramble, don't roll. Scrambling is silent, rolling is not. Oh, I should say, when you're doing climbs like this, and even in any direction, what I'm doing is doing XA, XA, XA. And X is to grab and A is to jump off. So it's really that quick. And once you get up here, kill this guy. You most likely don't need a headshot. At least I highly doubt you do. And then come over here. That guy won't see you. Blow all of them up. This just gets rid of everybody. Now, this next door is clippable. However, it does not load the next area correctly. So you have to blow this thing up. Make sure you step a little bit away from it so you don't get blasted by the explosion, so you can move immediately once the cutscene starts. Okay, since they're right there in front of you, go ahead and pick up these arrows. Kill that guy. Now, these next two guys, you need to do this very quickly. If you do it fast enough, which you probably have like maybe a frame or two to get it, that fourth guy won't spawn. Ideally, he'll do exactly what he just did, and that doesn't take up too much time. Now, something else that Spud found is you can actually blast yourself up. So from where you pop this thing open, scoot to your right just a little bit, and then switch to fire arrows. That's going to cause the explosion. What? Wow, okay, so if you take your time to explain shit, well, before that happens, you can die. So you need to do it quickly, like this. And if you get into the right spot, you can actually get blasted up onto that platform. Unfortunately, I went a little bit too far to the right that time. But it's a little bit of a shortcut, and it doesn't take any time to go for it, as long as you don't sit there and try to position yourself. You literally just have to open the thing, scoot, and go. Now, there is the friendship skip, which involves you getting on top of this fence. Now, with higher frame rates, it is easier to get on top of this fence, but as you can see, I'm having a little bit of trouble doing this on console. Now, when I do runs, I go for this, and when I did my record run, at least right now I hold the record, I did do this friendship skip, and it didn't take me all that all that long to get it. So hopefully I can just show you me getting onto the fence. And so as you can see, even though I was right on the fence, she kind of glitched down through it. Now, I don't know if there's a way to increase your frame rate on Xbox, because it runs at a fairly smooth 30 frames per second. So this is relatively difficult. As you can see, I keep clipping out. On PC, it's a lot easier. So what happens is you get on top of this fence, and then you can jump to the exit, which is right there. There is another method of doing it that's a little bit more difficult. So I would just recommend going through this area normally. So I'll go ahead and show it to you.
I got you, girl.
Thanks, Jonah. That was close. Oh shit, you have a problem. Grab hold of something.
And if you get the friendship skip on your first attempt, it saves 1 minute.
All the fucking floors. We gotta get out of this thing. Oh crap, this is bad. Laura, you be careful out there. Oh crap, we're starting to fall.
Now, what's kind of funny about doing the skip, though, is as soon as you do it, you get the dialogue, just like normal, that says we're out, but they're still stuck there.
Holy shit, that was close.
Lara, it looks like there's a way out on this side.
So once you're done, you just keep going like normal,
Get Simon Whitman.
and then we'll be into the Solaria Fortress. So if you do the skip, you immediately trigger this cutscene.
We're out, but this place is falling apart.
So for this area, just scramble. You can have steps that might be a little bit quicker. You just have to worry about your watch your camera, because sometimes it can be a little bit wonky. For swag, you can clip this door really quick, and if you get it first try like that, it does save a little bit of time over opening the door normally. And if you could do it unbuffered, then, well, there you go. And if you jump through this room, you skip that sequence. Give me a second. Responding to something really quick. For here, you want to jump from the right side and then jump up twice, and then from there you can easily jump over here. Now, it is possible to jump up to the next thing right before this guy on flames jumps over, but I wouldn't recommend that for beginners. It is possible to do it, but it is very easy to screw up as well. For this explosion, it is possible to prevent it from happening. However, this next cutscene does not load. Or maybe the cutscene loads, but this sequence doesn't load. One of the two. Either way, you don't get up here if you prevent that flinch. So she has to flinch for that explosion. Jump onto this rope. There we go. That was weird. Don't worry about the guys that shoot at you. Just come up here. There's two guys here. Don't worry about them. Just climb up. They'll run away. And then for here, jump through this room to not flinch from the explosions. Then you're good to go. Now this next room, the first two guys are consistent, the rest are not. So the strategy here is to get headshots on the guys that don't have helmets, and the guys that do have helmets, you want to get them to drop their dynamite. Which, guy just threw dynamite right next to me. What a jerk. So hopefully I can show you what you want to do. And I didn't get him in time. So if you get that to happen to where they drop their dynamite, that is ideal. Now if they're not dropping it, you can ignore them and go for other enemies. Otherwise, you can just use the assault rifle to take like a couple pot shots. Well, I just killed two guys with two birds with one stone. Now if you can get close enough to them, you can use your shotgun. That's another option. And that's what I'm going to use here. Switch to your shotgun. It is possible to kill that guy that's going to shoot at you in one shot. Oh, it took me 4 shots to... Wow, 5 shots to kill this guy. You want to kill him first, because this other guy is easy to dodge. The other one can shoot you. So shoot him in the chest plate. Wow, I'm low on ammo. Twice, and that'll kill him. Now, if you're not low on ammo, you can reload that checkpoint and it'll put you by the door. I'm going to go ahead and salvage these guys for some shotgun ammo. There we go. That's good enough. Now, this next hallway, take your pick on what you want to do. You can kill enemies as you go, or you can attempt to do it this way. Both of which are equally as risky. So come over here, jump over these guys, stay in the corner, and then scramble several times down that hallway. While you're scrambling, you're invincible. So it's abusing invincibility frames, and that can get you through that room, through that hallway, which I call the death hallway. So while you're scrambling, you're invincible. So for that one spot, I would recommend just scrambling, don't roll. And then the first two guys, jump over them. After skipping this cutscene, do not mash right bumper, aim up, and wait for the slowdown, which I just hit right bumper early. Good job. Once the slowdown hits, then you can hit right bumper a lot sooner than earlier. Now, a little trick that I found out is if you switch weapons and back to the assault rifle, you can fire another nade a lot sooner. You can also fire the weapon sooner, so if those guys don't die to that nade, you can start shooting them faster. So for these guys, I would lob 2 nades to ensure that you kill them. There's going to be one guy that survives. Guess what? Pop a headshot, and he's gone. Now, you shouldn't get into black and white state at this point for whatever reason I did. Shoot about here. You want to lob 2 nades, and they'll end up right by those guys and hopefully kill them. If they don't, just hang back. You can watch your experience, by the way. And if you get 80, that means you killed both of them with 1 nade. And you don't have to worry about wasting nades because the game automatically fills you up on nades, and for the next couple areas, there are nade crates everywhere. Like right here. You can clip that barricade, although this cutscene doesn't trigger, and you can't move. So now we're going to skip a lot of enemies, and so this is highly recommended for everybody, is clip through here. This is probably the easiest thing to clip through in the entire game. So once you clip through, fall down here, and now from this point on, it's pretty much try to follow what I do, because it's really muscle memory from this point. Because once you get down here, it looks like it's clear to the right, but there's an invisible wall, so you need to go forward just a little bit to about here, and then turn and the area loads, and then there's the wall that you couldn't go through. Once you're over here, the rest is pretty simple. Just jump to get into here. And then from here, you want to jump on this railing, which she should automatically jump onto, and then jump forward onto this railing. Sometimes you'll overshoot that railing, which is fine. So you land here, you skip spawning these two guys. Lob your nade there, kills the guy, and now you can continue on. And you do have to kill him. There's no way to go around it at this at this point.
Laura, climb over.
This room is pretty straightforward. There is a little bit of a shortcut, but I wouldn't recommend it. Once you jump to the right there, you actually don't have to use the pickaxe on the wall. You can just wall jump straight up. But if you want to be safe, feel free to use your pickaxe. Now this is the only time in the game that we do this. As soon as you trigger this checkpoint, exit to the main menu and mash A, or mash X, or mash confirm, whatever it is for you. Because the game is automatically going to be on continue, and it's going to automatically be on the file that you were just on. And doing that is going to skip a cutscene. Now, as dumb as this sounds, we're going to reload the next checkpoint. So roll up the bridge, go through this explosion, take care of this guy, and whack, he's off. You climb up, here's a checkpoint. Reload this checkpoint. Now, after you reload this checkpoint, do not scramble at all. If you do that, your jump button will be disabled for some stupid reason. So don't scramble during this sequence, just run and jump. Now, why did we reload that checkpoint? Because that makes this next cutscene skippable. And it does weird things with your cameras. With your camera, just, oh damn. You should be able to just hold forward and jump, but my camera was kind of wonky and didn't work. But anyway, it skips that cutscene, or allows you to skip that cutscene. The rest of the Flyer Fortress, I believe, is just straightforward. You can just jump straight up that wall. You don't have to actually be on the grippable surface, shall we say. Once you're on here, don't press up, just hit A, and she'll hop up like that. Easy enough. Sometimes that cutscene won't be skippable, but thankfully it was for me. Just run up that bridge, don't scramble or jump at all. Because sometimes that can cause the game to freeze and hard lock in upcoming section after this cutscene. This cutscene is not very skippable, and yeah. So, in standard gameplay, this is roughly the halfway point, I would say. thanks to a bunch of skips, the halfway point has been pushed back to Shantytown.
We can't leave them behind.
We have to land!
No way! Not in this weather!
We can't leave them behind!
I barely made it here in one piece!
Do it!
She'll pull apart!
No!
Fuck! You're crazy!
So unfortunately that cutscene was not skippable, but these next 3 are. Now, there is a walkie-talkie sequence after the 3rd cutscene, so we're going to prevent things from happening. So as soon as you gain control, scramble and roll, and then do your lunge. Once doing that, that'll actually skip the walkie-talkie sequence and allow you to keep going. And I think the walking sequence goes all the way up until she says damn it. So it's definitely worth it to do that lunge, even though it looks kind of weird. Alright, for the most part throughout this area you can roll. Nobody's over here to the right, so you don't have to worry about it. And you get to see some arrows spawn that haven't fully loaded yet. Now once you get to this water though, watch this guard, make sure he goes far enough away, and don't do anything. I mean, you can scramble, but that's it. Walk up here, and then this is going to take a little bit of practice. You want to lob a grenade to make sure it hits the second guy. If it hits the second guy, you're good. And then just kill this guy who's in your way. Who the hell is shooting me? I don't know who was shooting me. That was really weird. But kill that guy, come up here, and pop this open. There's going to be guys that might shoot at you from the back like that, but don't worry about them. It's okay. Come through. Once you get the door open, you're pretty much free. So you'll trigger that checkpoint, and you'll be fine. A very easy skip to go for is this. You could just jump, kind of hold forward, and forward a little bit to the left, I guess, is where I hold. But you'll swing on that thing, land on top of the deer, and get up here. Easy enough. During the sliding sequence, get as far to the left as you can, and after you climb up, mash A so you can jump, and that'll get you a little bit further into this tunnel and save maybe 1 second. Now unfortunately there's nothing you can do, even though she kind of runs for a second there, all your buttons are pretty much disabled. But once you get out of here though, then you can roll twice, jump on here, and if you want to do some swag, do dirty tricks. So here's the slide. This is what you do when you do the dirty trick slide. Do that, and then this really doesn't save any time, but get over to this corner. It's a really easy clip to go out here. You go flying, get yourself above this rope, because as soon as the cutscene ends, she falls down. And keep going. Now, fun fact, Grim is still there, or Grim is still up there, depending on where he's at. Now, the reason this doesn't save any time is you still have to wait for the next gondola thing to come up. But if you do that skip though, or if you do the dirty trick slide, you have plenty of time to pick up these arrows and plenty of time to pick up the shotgun shells. And you sit here and wait. Now if you don't do the slide, you get here like just in time, barely enough time to grab both those ammos. But for the most part, you don't really need them at this point anyway. And now we just have a nice cutscene to sit through.
I should be there soon. I need to tell you something.
What's going on?
I don't think we can leave this island. Something is keeping us here. I have to go back to the monastery.
Are you sure?
Yes, Sam. I need you to keep this to yourself for now. I'm going to help Reyes fix that boat, but then I'm taking it inland.
Laura, I don't know about this.
Just trust me. It's the only way.
Alright. You be careful.
So this is a perfect time to reload all your weapons, if need be. But once you do that, just get ready to hit that thing. Oh man, I was at the very edge of where you can shoot it. That was kind of weird. The thing glowed red, but it didn't stick. Slide down here, and if you need more ammo, go ahead and pick it up. I usually pick it up anyway, just in case. And then jump up this thing. Don't hold up in between the jumps, mainly because it might cause her to start climbing up rather than jump.
It's too quiet.
So scramble, roll, scramble. Now, this next spot, I'm going to leave it up to the beginners to decide what they want to do. You can go through this fight if you want to, or you can try to skip it. The skip is a little tricky, and it does take a second to figure out how to do. And I'm just going to quickly answer somebody in my chat really quick. And I guess it's for anybody who kind of has been skipping through this. The only skills that you should have at this point are pain tolerance and dirty tricks that we get earlier on in the run, and I recommend getting the first ammo upgrade as well. And that's all the skills that we've gotten at this point, and we have not upgraded any weapons. We are not getting any salvage throughout this run. Alright, so for this next section, you can go through the fight, which pretty much just kill enemies as fast as possible. If you can, shoot them off the ropes as they're coming down. Once the two melee enemies come down, you don't have to do anything else. From there, I would just salvage all the enemies for ammo, and then the cutscene will trigger. Now, what you can do to skip this fight, though, is once you're done with the fight, you're supposed to climb around this barge, and then you jump and you grab onto this yellow thing. Once you grab onto that, that triggers the next cutscene. Well, that trigger is still there at this point in time, and we can get to it. But it's really tricky and it's hard to explain on the fly, so I'm going to be doing a lot of pausing in here. So there's two enemies that come down. So what you want to do is constantly scramble so that they don't hurt you. Now, this third enemy does come down, so while you're scrambling, you got to be careful that she doesn't like lock onto this enemy and scramble away from him. The second guy in the back, this is kind of worst case scenario that he stayed over there, but right now he's shooting at me. So hopefully by the time I jump up next to him, he'll be done shooting. Like that. And now he's doing his melee attack. So I tried to melee around him, which is why this is worst case scenario. So I'm going to die. So on the fly, what you want to do is try to jump over him so that he shoots at you. So now I'm going to go through this whole section on the fly. This is best case scenario, with him way over there. Jump up here, scramble, get in. Alright, so now get into this corner. So now I can show you worst case scenario and best case scenario. This is kind of cool. So get into this corner, and what you're going to do is you're going to jump to the right, and then rotate your, jump to the right and hold, oh god, how do you explain this? Jump to the right over the railing, but you're going to control Lara in mid-flight to jump to the other side of the fence that's right in front of her. You can't jump over the fence, but you can jump around it. And so, jump up, I rotate the camera and get down here. This is kind of tricky to get down here though. I've done this enough times so that it's fairly consistent, so you might need to practice, but walk straight forward. Don't walk towards the center because you will fall through here. That may seem like a small gap, but it is massive. So make sure you walk straight forward, like on this center thing. Walk straight down it and you'll land right here. Now here's the yellow thing from the end. So that's your next trigger. Just go ahead, jump, and grab it. And that triggers the cutscene. So I'll leave it up to beginners to decide what they want to do. If you get that, it saves about a minute and a half. During the slide down, you want to try to avoid as many slowdowns as possible, but you got to be careful to not go early, because if you go early, you could die. So shoot those shotgun barricades as soon as possible. Also, for a reminder for those that are watching me do this live, if you missed any of this, this will be uploaded to YouTube, so you can go back and rewatch anything.
Something tells me the others found an easier way down.
Also, for those watching live, feel free to ask any questions and ask me to explain anything that I may need to. I'm trying to talk throughout most of this run, and it's proving to be quite difficult because my mouth's getting really dry.
Where are they?
So that's why I keep stopping for a second to grab some water. So going down to this beach, just roll down. I'm going to go ahead and show you a cutscene skip, but I would recommend just rolling this way to the boat and trigger that cutscene. But there is a cutscene skip that saves about 10 seconds. So you come over here, you jump, do a wall jump off that pillar, and then go to the left a little bit, just like that. Now sometimes it won't work, so you want to make sure that you're jumping probably about right here. So you have a very small amount of room to get a running jump to get it, but it's that simple, and it skips the cutscene over there. I don't think I can get back yet. So make sure you jump from as high up as possible, which is right here. So run forward, jump, and then curve to the left a little bit. And it's hard for me to do that with the camera angle kind of like that, but that at least shows you where to stand. Oh wow, now I'm screwing this up. I usually get this first try on my runs, if not second. It's very rare that I miss it this many times. Holy crap. Maybe I just need to get in my groove. There we go. What? Wall jump! Why didn't you wall jump? Wow. So yeah, if you're if you're not sure about doing this, just go trigger the cutscene. Okay, I don't know why that didn't grab. That made no sense to me. There we go. So anyway, that just skips the cutscene. You don't actually have to trigger that cutscene. However, to get back to the beach though, you do have to go all the way out here. Even though there's kind of a way to kind of shortcut your way back to the beach, you have to go all the way to the back and grab the tools that are needed, whatever it's called. So this first guy, just silently kill him. But for the second guy, pretty much do whatever you want. You can silently kill him, or you can go and shotgun him to the face. Round the corner, do a jump to the side, jump up, and another jump to the side, which should put you in perfect position to jump again. I've been too scared to try to jump around that corner. Use whatever weapon you want to knock that down. It doesn't matter. I like to use the bow because I don't use the bow too much for the rest of the game from this point. I also don't use the pistol at all for the rest of the game, so you can use that as well. You pretty much don't use the pistol at all in this game for speedrunning purposes.
Let's get out of here. I need backup.
So just ignore those guys, just run up and grab onto the rope. It is possible for them to shoot you down, although it's extremely rare. You get a checkpoint at the end of this rope, reload it. What this does is it skips you having to walk in the water up to the beach. It puts you right up onto the beach. So come up here and you get your new bow. Although we do have 5 skill points, we're not going to use any of them right now. Now, I guess I should say, with skill points, do not get enough to unlock tier 2. If you unlock tier 2 skills, you unlock the pickaxe attack, which instead of lunging forward like this, she swipes her pickaxe. That is not good, because that means you cannot clip through doors. And we still have one more clip to do. Scratch that. We actually have 2 that we need to do, but there's another method for the other one. And actually, it makes me wonder now if we can use that method to clip through this door coming up. However, though, there is one skip that I am going to talk about and do here, but that you might not want to do. But either way, with skills, just get the skills that I've gotten so far.
Lara is heading your way. You should wait for her.
Lara? No, I got this. I'm heading in. Going radio silent.
Alex, what are you doing?
So what they... There's an intruder!
So with these guys, just ignore them. Just come up here and jump straight up. I should mention, if you're trying to go straight up a wall, don't press the joystick in any direction. Just hit A. That's all you need to do. And the reason I say this, while it doesn't really affect anything so far, it affects the final ascent climb. And I'll explain that as we get up there. This guy you can ignore, or you can just do a couple pop shots and kill him. If you get a headshot with your shotgun, he's dead. But otherwise, you can just jump straight through. It's not too dangerous to not kill him. This is one tunnel that you actually can't roll into to save time. I think it is possible to lob a nade to damage boost forward, but no one really uses it. It's kind of hard to place exactly where you need it to be. Now, we are pretty far into the run, and the next bit is the bunker skip, which really became a pain in the butt for a lot of runners at the very beginning of the speedrunning process, because it was such a hard skip to do with enemies all around you. But if only there was a way to skip spawning the enemies, or not skip spawning the enemies, or just despawning the enemies without costing too much time, that would make this skip so much easier. Thankfully, that does exist. Zayden did spend some time in this area to try to figure it out, and he found a nice way. And so this makes it so easy that it's well worth it for beginners, and all speedrunners do this. Even though it's slightly slower than getting the original skip first try, it's well worth it. So you need to kill that guy at the start, and now we're going to go around the room this way. There's some guys in the middle, which is why we're going around to the side. So you kill that guy, go up, kill this guy, jump over here, land back here, shoot an arrow around there. Now, two things can happen with this guard. If he goes and looks at the arrow, which is not what's happening right now, sneak up behind him and use your stealth kill. If he does that, just dodge around him like this. Now clip through this door, which is not too difficult, round this corner, and it triggers a checkpoint. Reload this checkpoint, and if you go forward, those guys will still spawn and throw a barrel at you. But everybody out here in this main room has despawned. So now we can do the bunker skip with no enemies. So aim about, I'm going to say about here. What you want to do is take out this top portion of this wall, which usually takes a full clip. So now you can see the whole thing is clear. So what you want to do is jump to get onto here, and then jump to the right, or sorry, jump to the left. It is possible to jump straight up to get to the top there, but I just wouldn't go for it because I don't think it's all that consistent. And I lied. I used my pistol right here. As soon as you get up, quickly aim and explode that barrel. That'll kill every enemy up there. If any enemy survives at the top, Lara will not grab and keep a hold of this thing hanging right here. Because what'll happen is she'll just fall straight down because there's enemies. There's several spots throughout the game where if you don't kill every enemy, phantom dynamite or phantom molotovs will come out of nowhere and preventing you from continuing until you kill all the enemies. Some of these we managed to figure out how to get around them by clipping through the door or something else. But in that case, we do need to kill every enemy. Once you're up here, we can continue on. Just to explain something that's kind of cool. If once you jump off of here, you trigger a checkpoint. If you can trigger that checkpoint and get back here, you can despawn the area, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to try to do that really quick. If I miss it, it's kind of whatever. And nope. It is a little tricky. There it is. Alright, so I got the checkpoint, came back here, and half this area has despawned, which is kind of cool. And you can actually go back to the beach and continue the rest of the game. However, we need the rope ascender. We haven't found a way to skip the rope ascender yet. So while climbing through here, pull out your arrows. Now, this is worst case scenario. See this guy on the left? He should not be there. He spawns in random locations. So no matter what, he's gonna see you. So if that happens, just try to get a quick shot on the big guy and continue the fight. But I do want to show you what happens, what you need to do if you have like regular luck. So he's a little bit further back, but you know, that's okay. Get a fully charged shot, make sure it's fully charged, and hit this guy. Now with these other two guys that are here, you can ignore them entirely. Just dodge this guy, get a point blank shot and with your shotgun. So if you have a fully charged bow and one very close up shotgun blast, that'll kill him. The other two guys can hit you during this cutscene, but I have yet to have them kill me. And once it gets halfway through that cutscene, they say we need to head back to wherever, so they stop going after you. Now we have the rope ascender. So now we can get back to the beach. However, we have all this debris that's in the way. So there's no way to get back, at least not that we've found. So you're supposed to pull this thing out, which breaks open this floor, and you go back and you solve a puzzle and you meet Alex. We can actually skip this whole thing, and doing this first try saves 4 minutes. So for all the top runners, it's well worth it. For a beginner though, I don't know if I would actually recommend this. So what we're going to do is the same technique that we used to get through, clip through doors, and it's the same exact thing that we did for the Shantytown gate that I said we had to do multiple times. Now we're going to use it to go up a wall. So I said we can use this to go up a wall at the beginning of this tutorial. Now I'm going to teach you my method of doing this. Some other runners like Potato Handle has his own. So what I do is I aim straight down like this so that the pole that's right in front of me goes straight up the screen. Do a scramble to try to get her as close to it as possible and try to get her to face it. And you want to be slightly off center to the left. The reason for this being is the invisible wall, quote unquote, kind of pokes out a little bit where that blue barrel is, and that can prevent you from going up. So if you decide not to do this, feel free to skip ahead and you can just go to the left, go around, save Alex, or try to save Alex. Excuse me, spoiler alert. Go around there and then you'll be fine. But if you do want to be adventurous and try this, it can save up to 4 minutes. So I'm just going to go back and forth and try to go straight up here. So I'm just going frame by frame, holding my joystick in the opposite direction Lara is facing. Sometimes, like right here, this is random. Nobody knows what causes this. Instead of immediately going to the opposite direction, she's actually rotating around. And when she does that, there's no way to salvage it. It's done. So you have to start over. So just get back into position and clip up. And sometimes it does take a little bit, takes a second for her to start going up. That's okay. As long as she's going back and forth, like every frame or every other frame, you're good. And something happened there. I'm not too sure what happened. So even the top runners do have problems with this, which is why it's more of an advanced technique. But since I do it in my runs, I figured might as well just show you guys. Now while you're going up, it is possible to alter her direction, but not by much. You have very little room to work with. So if you find that she's kind of like right now, she's off to the left a little bit, so I'm going to hold down and slightly to the right. So now that she's facing this awkward angle, but then I'm just going to hold straight up again, and now she's back to center. You just have to be very careful about doing that though, because if you go too far to the right or left to adjust her angle, you can screw things up. Now, if you do get this clip or this skip going and you get up to this point to where her head is parallel to the top of these poles, you're done. That's all you need to do. From this point, put the cursor on resume and mash A and hold forward and slightly to the left. Whoa, go me. And there we go. Sometimes she'll do her lunge attack right at the top for some reason. That's okay. Just keep mashing A so that she jumps. And make sure you make it all the way over here. If you fall down the center between these two things, you're screwed. Now, walk through the doorway. I'm actually curious. Yeah, you don't have to go that far. Just walk like to where this railing is. Turn around, and you'll trigger that checkpoint. Reload this checkpoint, and you have now successfully skipped going to Alex. Because now it's nighttime, and the back of the ship has gone into the ground. Now, your checkpoint still says gone missing and recover the tools. Ignore it. Gone missing, find Alex. Ignore it. Because you don't actually need to grab the tools. You don't even need to go to the ship to trigger the cutscene to allow you to continue the game. Now that we've done the Alex skip, which we need to have the lunge attack for and not the pickaxe attack, we can now go to a camp and spend skill points. Now, at this point in runs, I've had 5 points, sometimes I have 6. In this case, I have 6, so I'll show you what I do. Just go into the first section, Survivor Upgrades, and just spend skill points. The first several, I think it's 4, are wasted. There's no point for any of them. So those 4 skills are just random. Now that tier 2 is unlocked, that means I can now get Climber's Agility, which is the fastest method of travel through the game. So it is definitely worth it to get Climber's Agility at this point. Now I did mention there is one more door clip, but there is another method of doing the clip. At least that one, there's a very consistent way of doing it. Now if you have an extra skill point, it might not be a bad idea to get Heavy Lifter, which is your second ammo capacity upgrade. Otherwise, just get Climber's Agility. Now, why is Climber's Agility the fastest method of travel? When you're on a rock face surface, like using your pickaxe to go around, she'll move faster, but now also when she's coming out of a jump or like falling onto the ground, you can roll immediately as soon as you get onto the ground. And rolling is the fastest method of travel. So now, having Climber's Agility, you can roll and jump towards the end of the roll to kind of cancel the roll, I guess, and allow you to jump and then roll again, jump and roll again, jump and roll again. The cutscene after that book, you can skip the last second of it, but sometimes it just won't skip. So keep in mind, while that door is clippable that I just opened, now that I have the pickaxe attack, I cannot clip through the doors using Y. So when you unlock tier 2, you now have this pickaxe attack instead of your lunge. So all regular doors we're now going to have to open normally. Now, would it be worth it to wait to get Climber's Agility till later? No, because the doors that we're going to have to clip, except for one that we clip in a different method, it takes it's actually a lot more difficult to clip those with the lunge. So now we're just going back to the beach. Really not much to say. So when you come up here, make sure you have just regular arrows, think I said I don't really use the bow till the end. I definitely do. So this guy doesn't have a helmet, so he's easy to kill. The second guy does, but all you have to do is just shoot him. You don't even need to have a charged shot. He falls off the edge. The second guy, though, does have a helmet, so run up here with your shotgun and shoot him in the same location twice. Now, what do I mean by same location? Like, just hit him in the chest twice, like I just did, or shoot him in the head twice. And once you do that, you can jump up onto here. Now, if you're feeling really ballsy, you don't have to kill any of those guys. You could just jump onto here, but they have a high chance of knocking you off. Once you get onto this final rope, keep an eye in your lower right-hand corner, and you get a checkpoint right there. Reload this checkpoint. This does two things. One, it puts you down off of the rope onto the beach, so it doesn't waste time to do the reload, but it also confirms that this cutscene will be skippable after the tools are handed off. So like I said, the fastest movement is rolling. So at this point, roll, and right at the end of the roll, do a jump. And that's only possible when you have when you have climber's agility. Now sometimes grabbing onto, whoa, okay, cool, I got one of the glitches. Grabbing onto this top can cause problems. Sometimes she just won't grab it and fall like that. Oh, cool, so I got both of them, nice. The way to counter the one where she's just falling, just mash X, and she'll end up using her pickaxe and then stop trying to jump, just climb up, just press up. And sometimes, like the first time, she just jumps off to the left instead of climbing up. Nothing you can really do about it. There's grenades right here. I'd top up on nades just to be safe, because we're gonna want as many nades as possible towards the end of the game, and there's not much in the way of spots to grab nades. Plus, right there, we want to make sure that we have nades because we need 2. And I just picked up 2, but I have a total of 7 now, so I've got more than enough. Climb up here. If you're adventurous, you can jump around that cliff face, although it's a little bit difficult. Go around to the right side here, so you can jump straight up. Now you can use the rope ascender on both of these platforms from this main platform, but with that first one you can actually time it just right so you don't end up climbing up onto it. So I typically do it this way, especially since I can aim pretty quick. Now you can do the same thing with this second platform, but it's just easier to just jump up onto it. So not much to really say here. Oh yes, there is.
What the hell are we doing?
Quickly come up here. The game is going to automatically try to put your bow on. Just force it to go to your assault rifle. Quickly come up here, aim at either of those two guys. It doesn't matter, lob a nade, but it has to connect with them. It cannot hit the ground. If it hits the ground and detonates like on its timer, they'll see it and they'll jump away, and 2 more guys will spawn. But if you nail one of them with it, then you're good to go. Now here's a spot where climber's agility really does save a little bit of time, because I don't do any jumping around that corner, but from here I do. Be careful of this jump. I wouldn't recommend scrambling or rolling towards it. Just walk to the edge and get there. If you get that fire for this rope arrow really quick, the rope ends up attaching to a different location, which is kind of weird, but it's cool. Now for this area, grab onto this, drop down, and grab onto this lower spot. From here, jump to the left and jump again to make sure that you can get over onto this rock. And then you can jump up here and skip going around in the water. Now, if you fail and end up in the water, you can recover this a little bit by climbing up onto here, and from here you can jump over here and get up. And that rock surface, you don't need the pickaxe, you can just do a wall jump up. Now there's two guys here. It's easiest to just open up this door and go around. That is a door that you can clip, but like I said, we can't right now. We can't really clip them in our old method. But now, here's a 3-minute skip. This is a new method of a door clip, and I'm actually going to explain this with no enemies here, because these guys are now going to come after me. Alright, so pull out your assault rifle, and what we're going to do is get through this door with a nade boost. Now, if you're on PC, this is a different story, and I should have mentioned too, the Alex skip is not possible on PC, or if it is possible, it's extremely difficult. But for this door, just do this, roll, and at the end of the roll, jump. And if you're on PC, you'll clip through this door. It's, I think we called it the Climber's Agility clip. But on PC, that's easy as can be. On console, we can't do that though. So, I came up with this method of clipping through the door. I think Meb was the one that came up with the idea to use a nade boost. So what we're going to do is on the third step up, right about in the center, I'm going to lob a grenade down, and then when it explodes, I want to make sure I'm either scrambling or rolling. And if I'm doing either of those two things right next to the door, it'll push me through. Once you get used to it and do it like 2 or 3 times, it becomes extremely consistent. So it's not hard to do at all. Why did you go to... Alright, now, this is probably going to be the hardest thing for beginners to do.
Alright.
And that is getting this clip. And that would have been really cool if I got my swag clip. Alright. So, if you don't decide not to do this skip, which can save you a minute if you get it on your first try, you can just go up here, trigger the fight, and kill the guys. And as soon as this area, that thing falls down, just immediately jump up here and skip the fight. But I'm going to show you how to skip it. And there's multiple methods of what you need to do. Now, I mentioned my swag method, which was just walking over here and with her just automatically jumping over and getting the clip. I've done this 3 times during runs. It looks amazing, and I can't get it to work right now. One runner aims right here, jumps, and then hits left and jump when you land. So jump, left and jump. And it's not working for me, so I don't do it, but that's one method of doing it. The other method is to roll off the edge. So about halfway through the roll, you're going to control her to go off right about here next to the pillar. Now, as soon as you land, hit left and A, and what that'll do is cause her to climb up onto the platform just like that. Except it'll do it from a funky angle. And when that happens, while she's climbing up onto it, hold your aim button and press forward. And as soon as she gets up, press forward and try to get her to go into this pillar right there. And this will take a lot of time to get. So I just had it right there. It was just slightly off, so I didn't get the clip. Wow, I just got it twice in a row. This has been something that's been killing me in runs lately. And, you know, of course I get it 3rd try right here. So while you get the clip, if you noticed, I was actually on top of these barrels and I started going backwards. During that section, keep holding your aim button and press forward until she lands down here and starts walking normally. Otherwise, the game is going to force you backwards off of here. So this is a relatively difficult trick to do, but it can save 1 minute if you get it on your first try. Otherwise, just run up there, trigger the scene, kill a couple of guys until this thing falls, and then you can just run up here normally. But if you get the clip, you don't have to deal with any enemies whatsoever. You get to conserve your ammo. Those rocks are not solid, and you go straight through them. Now, if you have climber's agility, you can make this walkie-talkie sequence a little bit quicker. And what you do is mash A here, roll, jump. Roll, jump. She's supposed to be walking, but if you roll, jump throughout this entire... Aw, damn it. I screwed it up. So this is what happens if you don't do it. She ends up walking like this the entire way. This radio conversation will happen while you're doing the roll jumps, but you don't have to walk through this whole thing. And there's nothing you can do until you get to this point. And now I can roll. But if you're doing the roll jump method, you need to get all the way out to here. You actually have to go all the way out, otherwise it'll trigger her to start walking. Now, you can easily make it past these two guards without having to kill them. But if you want to kill them, just get 2 headshots. They really don't move that much at all. There is a slight chance that they will shoot you off this rope, but you can just go for the rope. It's not all that difficult. Once you get to the top, hit B to let go, and your momentum carries you onto the second rope. Roll as soon as you land, and that'll trigger the cutscene. And here we are. Do not scramble and jump onto this boat, because this cutscene will not trigger, and you'll have to walk backwards. Now this cutscene is not skippable until you're about halfway through it, but the second cutscene after it is not skippable at all.
There's the soul of an ancient Sun Queen trapped in a dead body. Her rage is what's causing these storms. If we destroy the body, the storms will stop.
Alright.
No. I'll need you and Reyes to guard the main entrance while I go in after
So
that.
nothing really to say here. Sorry guys, it's just a cutscene that we can't skip.
I need you here taking
So
out
just
as
have
many
to sit
of
here
those
and wait.
bastards as you can. It won't just be the Solari either. There'll be others. Samurai, the Queen's Storm Guard. Look, anything that's not me or Sam, shoot it.
My little bird. This isn't goodbye. I'm not gonna say goodbye.
We got your back, Laura.
Alright, so now the cutscene's over, we keep going. Like I said, the non-skippable portions of this game, the longest sequence is not even 2 minutes. So it's not all that long, so you get a little bit of a break. And you can roll through that crawl space to trigger this cutscene right away. Now for this rope, do not place it up here as high as you can. Place it down at least halfway. The reason for that is if you place it too high, she won't slide down. So it doesn't save any time whatsoever being higher up on the wall, especially with you being able to just jump up the wall like that. Now for this area, you just gotta get used to the timing. Get up by this barrel, aim up, wait for these guards to come out, lob it so that it hits them, and that'll kill everybody. Lob a couple fire arrows. I've started using 2 because sometimes this whole area doesn't catch on fire. Ugh, excuse me. But you have time to salvage a couple of guys for ammo. My hope is to get nades out of the guys, because otherwise ammo is not all that important. For this section right here, scramble only, do not jump or roll. The reason being, they will spot you and hear you. You can roll up the stairs, although it's not recommended. And once you get on here, you can't jump across, so you have to shimmy over.
I'm going to get through this.
For here, you can use climber's agility for the jump and roll, or you can just scramble roll. I don't think there's much difference in that hallway. Some shotgun ammo right there. For these guys, you want to shoot them in the same spot twice. It's very rare to get them to go down like that, but the easiest way is to shoot them in the chest twice.
How can they be alive after all this time?
And then just keep going up. While it's possible to clip that door, you have to open it for it to trigger this cutscene. And you have to do crazy legs, which just means scramble after that cutscene. So as soon as you can, if you scramble, she does crazy legs. Kind of cool. So here's your final section to pick up ammo. I've got full shotgun, so I don't have to worry about that. Reload this checkpoint. The reason, it allows you to skip cutscenes coming up. For some reason, these cutscenes decided to stop being skippable. Not too sure why. And as soon as you fall down here, you can skip this cutscene. Now, you want to use as many of these exploding red barrels. So this one, kick as quickly as possible. As you can see, there was fire that came out. So now I can use this to kill a guy, which I'm trying to manipulate it to go over. There we go. And it exploded. Whatever. So there's 4 specific guys that you need to kill. And so you want to kill as many of them as possible with these barrels, because it's just a lot quicker. So once you use both of those, just stick around and wait for the other guy. And once the 4 specific guys are dead, okay, come on. There we go. This cutscene will trigger. That was really weird. For this guy, scramble and shoot him once to allow the second guy time to get down. It's just easier that way. Now, pull out your assault rifle and get up here. From here, try to get a nice shot that ends up hitting multiple people. If you get knocked back like this, it's not a big deal. But after a couple shots, kind of retreat a little bit. And they'll all gather up right here. So from the top, aim down, shoot somebody in the head. Now if it hits you like that, it's not that big of a deal. Shotgun any guy up here off. Pick up more nades, and we're done with all these enemies, so we can keep going. This next part, quickly get up here, turn around, and blow up that tower. That'll kill a lot of those enemies. Then come over here, take this explosive thing, kick it, and hopefully it'll go further than that. And use it to kill as many of the shield dudes as possible. Now, there's a lot more enemies alive than should be, which is rare. I'm not too sure why. So, hop up here, explode that barrel, turn around, explode that one to kill as many enemies as possible. I'm shocked that guy didn't die. Once you're done with that, hop down here, explode that barrel, if there's a guy next to it. And keep an ear open for the horns. That just means the next wave is starting. So at some point you're going to come over here. Really? That was dumb. Now if you get multiple guys next to each other like this, lob nades. But for some reason these archers don't like to die to one nade. You have to use multiple. And be careful if you're in black and white. Shit. Okay, so I can show you. If you're in black and white, this happens. So if you end up triggering a checkpoint, it's okay. At least for beginners anyway. Because all the barrels reappear. So, oh wow, I can't believe I missed that shot. So that means you can abuse them again. Wow, usually a guy climbs up. Oh, there he is. I knew there was a guy that climbed up there. If you go into black and white state, which means you're about to die, just come over here. And take pot shots at enemies. And if you need ammo, there's ammo scattered all over the place. These shield guys really do become a pain in the butt, so abuse these things as much as possible. Oh my god! I can't believe I'm screwing this up that bad. I think that's it. Oh, nope, here we go. Once all enemies are dead, this happens. And you can keep going. So especially for beginners running this game, I would recommend using those red barrels as much as possible. Otherwise, lob nades. And if there's only one enemy, might as well just use your shotgun. But congratulations, you're done with the final fight. Now, there is a way to skip this puzzle, but no runners use it because it's very luck-based, and we haven't found a way to consistently get it. So you pretty much just need to do this area normally. Although there might be something that you didn't really think of. You don't actually have to be at any certain level to pull this thing back. So once you close this and hop down to the ground, go ahead and use the rope ascender to pull this thing back. So you don't actually have to be up at any certain level. For the final bit, however, you do need to be at the upper level. So lower that and then hop up here.
I can make this jump. The Sun Queens. Sam, a vessel for the Queen's soul. I've got
Roll through this section. When you jump, she actually moves a lot slower because I think she's supposed to be walking through this area. So you want to complete your rolls as far as possible. If you let it go too far, the roll is going to complete and then you're going to slow down. Now we're at the point of no return. There's no point in stopping at the camp because we're pretty much done with everything. All that's left is a climbing sequence and a QTE. So there's no more fights. We actually skipped the final fight, which is probably, we're guessing, like a 7 to 8 minute sequence, maybe even closer to 10. So it's really worth it to go for this, even for a beginner. Now when climbing up these ice surfaces, be careful when you jump, because there is wind that is blowing and it will blow you in the direction that is blowing, which is typically to the left of all surfaces that you climb. So be very careful about that. And when you're trying to go straight up, don't press a direction, the wind won't blow you. No idea why. It just won't. But if you hold up on the joystick and try to climb, it'll affect you.
Lara, watch out! Those bastards are heading your way. We did everything we could to slow them down.
Thanks, Rose. Get to the boat. If I'm not back...
We're not leaving without you. We'll be waiting.
That was interesting. That was really interesting. So not too sure why she didn't grab a hold of the surface, but then when I fell down, she didn't die. She actually landed on something. That was really weird. And because of the shape of this wall, I wouldn't recommend jumping until you get to this side, and then jump up only once. But remember, again, don't press a direction on your joystick. Same thing for this right here. Just hit jump. Nothing else. So now here, there's a little bit of a shortcut. Place the rope towards the end, at least halfway. Hold forward and get ready to hit B right towards the end. And worst case scenario, you'll get this. Average scenario, you'll grab a hold of the edge right here. Best case scenario, you make it in. Which I have not been able to do yet. So from here, jump straight up. Once you get up to here, jump to the right, and she'll jump around the corner. And from here, jump up 3 times. And now, I'm not going to touch the stick for a bit. I'm just going to hit XA, XA to get up. Once I reach a certain point, though, I will hold to the right, or yeah, up and to the right to get over here, and then to the right to get over here. And again, don't press in any direction when you're going straight up. Now when you get here though, do hold to the left and jump twice. And now just jump straight up, but again, don't press the joystick. Now here comes the final fight skip. This is going to take you a little while your first time to get it. Come over here into the corner, and pretty much this is different for everybody. But everybody, the whole concept is the same. So we're going to get up onto this railing, and then we're going to jump up somewhere on this pillar. From that pillar, we're going to jump to the bridge. Now on PC, you can use a jump extension, which is scrambling off of the pillar, but on console, it's not worth going for. So from here, I recommend doing the next 2 jumps in sequence, not jump up to the top thing, wait a second, then go. It's jump up, get on top of it, which, wow, that was really weird. That was a fail. And the reason I recommend doing both back to back is because she keeps some of her momentum from the first jump. So once you get up, jump, and if you land on the edge like this, hold up and left and mash A. Eventually she will, and then just like wiggle your left stick until she lands on something. On occasion, she'll land on something below the bridge. But sometimes she'll land on something on the edge of the bridge right there, allowing you to jump over. So that's a way you can kind of salvage it. And on console, that's pretty much the only way you're going to get this final skip, is by landing on the side like that. Now, if that happens, I don't know why. That's the first time that's happened to me, where the camera decided to change its angle automatically. And there's no way to salvage that. And as you can see, you know, even though I'm one of the top runners, I still struggle with this. So again, wiggle your stick. Hopefully you land on something, and sadly I didn't. On PC though, when you get up on top of the pillar, if you scramble first, you'll get a little bit of a jump extension, and that'll allow you to land directly onto the bridge. Now, the reason why I say don't try to stay on that thing is, I don't know if you noticed, but I slid down when I did that. I actually slid down it. So you land higher and you have forward momentum. And there we go. That's what it looks like when you do it correctly. Now, no matter what console you are on, go behind this line. Why? Because if you go straight for the final cutscene, it, one, will, won't load right away, and two, will crash your game. So now here we are on the final QTE. And you don't need a pause during here. I was doing those by accident. Just your aim to shoot him, and as soon as this this final cutscene starts, that's the end of the game, and that's where we stop our timer. Now, with me going through this and explaining all of this, it took me about 2 hours 40 minutes. So when running through this game for your first time, and once you get all the tricks like relatively consistent, you kind of figure things out, you should be able to get under 2 hours 30 minutes without too much problem. Once you get closer to around 2 hours 10 minutes, once you get to the 2 hour 10 minute mark, then you want to start looking at the record videos to find ways to improve your time and get closer and closer to the top times. So that's the end of Tomb Raider. This is the end of my walkthrough. Thank you all for watching. I've got nothing more to say. There's nothing really else to say about doing these skips.